Fam, what's good? It's your boy, Susan Sense. All right, fam, I'm just going to jump on here real quick because it's a hot topic going on, and I got to put my 2 cents in on it. I can get this doggone thing hooked up here. Okay. Um, I just got finished looking at Jim's and Walt's live. Sips and Sniffs and Fat Boy Finesse. Man, that was an excellent live. That was hot. That was hot. The live was hot. The conversation was hot. The chat was hot. There was some disagreements. There was some agreements. That was just an excellent live. My hats off to you, fellas. That was excellent. That was good. That was good. It was keeping it real. That was the title of it. Keeping it real. If y'all get a chance, check that live out. It was on, I think it was on Sips and Sniffs channel. Check that live out. That was good. But anyhow, just gonna say this real quick. This is the reason, and this is the reason let's do this first. That video was in reference to Justin Copeland's video. Now, I haven't looked at Justin Copeland's video, and I don't plan on looking at it. Not any slight against Justin Copeland thing. It's just that, I'm just done with the clone thing, man. Clone dudes, whatever. I'm just done with it. But I had to comment on this because they said some things that, brought me a little closer to like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And some really good things. Like I said, I haven't looked at that video. Don't plan on looking at it, but there were some topics that they said that were very interesting. This is my belief. Everybody has their own personal belief, your own opinion. So this is my opinion why clones are still relevant. Dupes, clones, whatever, like Jim said, dupes is short for duplicate. A duplicate is something that is not original. Okay. And again, I am not anti-clone. I have nothing against clones. Okay. I have nothing against, if you choose to purchase clone, that's on you. I have nothing against clones. I'm not anti-clone, but I believe the reason is because it all boils to me, this is my opinion, it all boils down to price. And I'm not saying that, your pockets are thin or anything like that. I'm not in your pockets. You're not in my pockets. I'm not saying that at all. But regardless if you could be a billionaire, gazillionaire, trillionaire, whatever, you can have all the money in Saudi Arabia and still choose to purchase clones. That's just you. But it still will boil down to price. I truly don't believe it's boiling down to quality. That's just me. They use the word luxury. I do believe, and I stand on it, that there is a difference when it comes to luxury in fragrances. I truly do. They use that point, and they use that. My thing is, it falls down to price. If you now, I can't speak on clones. I don't own any clones. Nope, scratch that. I own one. I purchased Club Day New something. I purchased that. The one that's supposed to be better than the original Ventus, and I'll give them that. I did a video on it. That is a good, when it comes to the Ventus DNA, when it comes to the Ventus DNA, the longevity, but the longevity was better. The everything that Club D away, it was better than the Ventus that I have. Now I can't say that Club D Way is better than an original Ventus, a first batch of Ventus. I can't say that. But the one that I have, it was better. That's probably the only clone that I own. But getting back to my point, I truly believe that people or individuals, and again, purchase what you like. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have any clones. I'm a niche guy. And I'm not saying that what I purchase is better than what you purchase. All I'm saying is that, to me, in my opinion, it all falls down to price. Because if you can get a $600 fragrance for $13.95 and it smells the same, then some people rather go down that road. You're going to come to the fork in the road where you got $13.95 price tag up there and you got $600 price tag up there. Some people going, take that fork and roll and get that fragrance. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's my belief as far as why clones and dupes are still so relevant. It's down to price. I don't think it's as much as quality. I don't think as much as quality. Now, I can't speak on the quality of clones because I don't own any. But the only logical reason I can see is price. Price. Let's jump back on Aventus, okay? Club de Nuit, I would say, yeah, that's better than Aventus. And in my belief, I think Creed got wind of that, came out with Absolute, and boom, they took the title back. I don't. They say that there's some clones, and I did a video of it. I had a sample of the clone for Absolute, and to me, it just wasn't better. The longevity wasn't better. It just wasn't better. I think it's in a gray bottle, I believe. Can't remember the name of it anyhow. But that's just my price. I just think it just falls down to price. So instead of paying $600 for Absolute, they will pay $16.95 for the dupe of it, and just be happy with that. Okay. I'm gonna give 3 points. All right, that's the first point, price. Second point, if you're gonna wear a clone, be proud of it. Now, I've seen people do this. They will have a clone, wear the clone, and say that what they're wearing is the original. Why? Why? If you're wearing a clone, be proud of it. Wear your clone. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with clones. If you wear the clone, say the clone that you're wearing. If you're wearing Akmak Pasha and it's a clone of, say it's a clone of in any top fragrance, say it's a clone of that. If that's what it is, say that's what it is, And if you think it's better, you're entitled to your opinion that it's better, and you gotta steal. Because when I do my videos, I always give the high-end price. And more times it's Neiman Marcus or the house itself, I always get the high-end price. Always have, always will. And I will follow that up with saying, do your research. If the clone thing is better for you, then fine. But then there's some discount websites that have these luxury fragrance on discount. You could get it cheaper, all right? But still, the clone thing is for you, that's for you. I think it just boils down to price. I just think it boils down to price. Getting back to, they use the word luxury. Getting back to it. Now, I'm going to use my favorite fragrance of all time, Diagolève, okay? Somebody told me that there is a clone of Diagolève, right? Right. If that's what you choose to purchase, that's what you choose to purchase. But me, I will never, ever purchase a clone or a dupe of that fragrance. I'm going to get the original. And I'm not even going to purchase that fragrance from a discount website. I'm not going to purchase it from nowhere else but either Roja Dove or Neiman Marcus. That's just me. That doesn't have to be you. I'm not going to judge you by how you purchase your fragrances or where you purchase your fragrances, so I don't expect you to judge me. As long as you smell good and you're happy with what you have. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This clone and dupe thing is just getting way out of hand. Like in the chat, Tazo had mentioned, we're not having fun anymore. We're not having fun. That's why some of my videos, I try to crack jokes, and I do a funny video now and then, man, because it's all about entertainment. It's all about having fun. God put us all here to, like he said, love one another as I have loved you. And that's what we need to do. Don't hate on somebody because of the fragrance they purchased. I don't hate on nobody that purchased clones. If it's because of price or because that's just what you want or whatever. You want to purchase clone. Me, I'm a niche guy. I'm not anti-clone. I'm just pro-niche. That's just me. You do you. I'm going to do me. That's how it is. And let's just get back to having fun in this frag community. Let's just get back to having fun. And my third point, somebody has said that, and I'm not going to mention who, that you have reviewers now that were pro niche, and this is slightly a different topic, but you know, I want to cover all these areas that they were pro niche. I don't think they used the word pro, but they said, you know, all their fragrances were niche, but then they saw how popular clones were getting reviews and clicks and all this other stuff. So they started switching over and boosting them and bragging them and all this stuff, whatever. I will never do that. I would never do that. And you know, the person used the word, called them a sellout, called that person a sellout. You're entitled to your own opinion. That's fine. Me, I'm going to stick to who I am. I love niche. I know what I'm getting. I don't, you know, you hear so many stories about clones that, you know, they're made by computers. You're going to get cancer. They both burn holes in your skin. You're going to turn into a zombie. I mean, there's all type of crazy stuff, man. I can't speak on it because I don't have clones. I don't know. I got that one clone, that Club Day. I'm going to get the name. Club Day Nuit. Nuet. New. Now, you know what I mean. That one. And that is, I'm not going to lie, that's a good fragrance. That's a good fragrance for that DNA. That's better. Okay. But on the flip side of that, instead of wearing Club D Noir, I will wear Nishane's Hachivat X. I think that's better than Aventus. And it's way better than Club D Noir. That's just my opinion. Okay. That's just my opinion. But make a long story short, and to close this out, I believe that the reason why clones and dupes are still relevant and somewhat popular amongst a lot of people is because of price. If you can pay $15.95 for a fragrance that originally cost $600, people going, you know, the scale is going to tilt to that way. Just saying. But for me, I'm going to get the $600 fragrance because I know what I'm getting. Not bashing clones. Not bashing clones. Just saying. All right, just saying. So, James and Walt, man, thank y'all for that video. That was excellent. Thank y'all for that video. Some people agreed with y'all, some people didn't. The chat was on fire, man. The chat was on fire. That was excellent. But like, you know, let's get back to having fun with this thing, man. Let's get back, whether it's clones, originals, or some. Let's get back to having fun in the frag community, and you know, let's just do that. All right, fam. I just want to get and talk about that. I'm tired. I'm just getting in here. Been a long day. Deuces. Put God first.